Hello everyone, let's make a Hoisin pork bowl. Today we are using our TM7 and our TM6 to make this dish even quicker. When you only have one Thermomix, that is absolutely fine. You can do your pork on the stove, but I wanted to show you just how amazing the browning mode is in the TM7 with the manual option, which is amazing. We still don't have a range hood in our kitchen. We have one, it's not connected properly. Living in a double brick house is really challenging when you're renovating. So trying to still avoid using my cooktop, which is why I'm gonna do the browning mode in the TM7 for this one. So for those of you with one Thermomix, you would make the rice and veggies in your Thermomix and then you would do your pork mince on the stove. All right, so for time, doing this live, it's always a little bit different when I'm cooking live as well, because I need to be a little bit more savvy with my time. So pop in the comments and let me know, have you ever made a Hoisin pork bowl? And or what are you having for dinner in your house tonight? I got back from Fiji from our incredible Thermofest trip late last night, so really excited to be eating a home-cooked meal with some veggies. You know what it's like after you've been away for a week. So heading on into our weekly planner on our TM6 firstly. The weather's really bad here in Melbourne, really turned it on for my first day back after 8 days of glorious Fijian weather. It has not stopped raining pretty much all night and all day, so hoping my internet is going to hold out for us. So into my weekly planner, into our Hoisin pork bowl. Now I'm going to skip down and I'm going to select the step I want to get to because we're going to go back to the TM7 and continue cooking this. So we are going to go down to inserting our simmering basket because I'm going to get our rice and veggies on in our TM6. So inserting our simmering basket, don't click next like I just did. Pop it in, then click next. Then we're going in with 200 grams of our jasmine rice, white rice, whatever you've got in the cupboard. If you haven't made the Hoisin pork bowl, it is delicious. Pork mince, really beautiful Hoisin sauce, veggies, salads, things like that. And everyone loves a bowl, right? It does just want me to quickly rinse my rice. A little rinse till it runs clear. And then hit that next button. We're going to go with 1200 grams of water into our TM6. My jug is pretty full, so 1200. Nearly there. Nearly there, oh my goodness. All right, close enough, 1175, it will do. By the sound of it, no one has made a Hoisin pork bowl, so you need to add this one to your list. It wants a teaspoon of salt. I don't really love putting salt in my rice, so I just tend to leave that out when I see that. That is just personal preference. Inserting our simmering basket with rice. We're putting our lid on, and then we are placing our varoma on the top, and we are adding in 200 grams of broccoli. Now, I've got some broccolini in here. I tend to prefer broccolini over broccoli. Don't ask why. But that's just my personal preference. I've gone with broccolini. And I've got a little bit over, but that is fine. Secure your varoma lid. And then we're going to start cooking that one. So we've got 15 minutes on our varoma or our steam temperature. And then we are going around to speed 2. So that is going to steam away. So we've got our rice and veggies going, and I'm going to move that one to the side, out of our way, and bring in my favourite child. I mean, we don't have favourites, do we? Our TM7. So, on our TM7, we've got our weekly planner here, so we can click into our Hoisin pork bowl. I just love the big screen. It's just so beautiful. And it's so quiet. You can probably hear the TM6 whirring away. I'll move my camera a little bit away from that for you. The sound difference in the TM6 to the TM7 is incredible. As a long-term Thermomix owner, I still can't wrap my head around how quiet it is. It really blows my mind. So I'm going to start from the start of this recipe. Now, you can scroll your finger down and you can jump to where you want to be if you want to, but I'm starting at the start for the TM7. So I'm just going to hit the start button. And then we're going to start with some salted roasted peanuts and some fresh ginger. So we're going in with 50 grams. So this one is going to create a little bit of a sauce and a really yummy topping. Now, I don't think these are salted peanuts. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to that. If you have unsalted peanuts, totally fine. Just add a little bit of salt to them. And then we're going to go with 20 grams of fresh ginger. I've just got some fresh ginger here. I don't generally peel ginger when I'm chopping it in my Thermomix. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. I tend to just cut off any really hard knobby bits and let the Thermomix do it, but because this is going to kind of be in the topping, not being cooked down, I did peel it. The easiest way to peel fresh ginger is with a teaspoon. Just using the side of your teaspoon is so simple. So going in with 20 grams. I've got about 15 there, but that's totally fine. We all know it is guided cooking, not set in stone. And then we're going to chop that one up. So we've got speed 8 for just 2 seconds, and we're just hitting play. All right, so we're going to transfer into a small bowl and set aside. So we've got our chopped salted peanuts and our fresh ginger. I just want to okay, now some of this is going to go into the sauce, and some of it is just going to be crumbled over our Hoisin pork bowl. It gives the most amazing flavour. Scrape it right out. Oh, I missed my bowl. There we go. So there is that one. Easy. Okay, so next up we're placing a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid. Sorry, when I'm trying to get this bowl on when I'm not looking, it's always a little bit awkward. So what are we weighing here? We are weighing our Hoisin sauce and our water. Can you tell I haven't touched my Thermomix in a week while I've been away? Hoisin sauce, we're going in with 100 grams. So you'll find Hoisin sauce in the Asian aisle in the supermarket. Grams. Perfect. Now with our TM7, when we hit the mark on our scales, it does mark it off for you. Gives you a little ding and tears it ready to go. So it's teared that off for me without having to touch it, and then it's asking for 100 grams of water. Just to thin out that Hoisin sauce, it is pretty thick. A little bit more. Again, marking itself off. I'm a few grams over, it'll still mark it off. You do need to get to it or you won't mark it off. So if you're 5 grams shy, it won't mark it off for you. But if you're a little bit over, it still will. Add 2 teaspoons of our reserved ginger and peanut mixture into our bowl. Just a bit of that one, don't be shy. Give that a little bit of a stir. Ooh. I'm such a slob. Messiest cook you'll find. Thank goodness for a Thermomix. All right, really exciting if you've been thinking about getting a TM7. Zip Money is back from today, and you will not pay a cent until your TM7 dispatches, which is awesome. So at the moment, we've got late October delivery. We'll move to early November soon. So if you do decide to purchase a TM7, you can order it now, use Zip Money 24 months interest-free, and not have to pay back any zip until your Thermomix is dispatched in October or early November, which is amazing. All right, so we've got our sauce aside, and then insert simmering basket, which we've got going on in our other Thermomix. So that's our jasmine rice, water, Varoma with our broccoli, and then cook. So I'm just gonna skip straight past that, and I'm gonna click on where I wanna go to and set as current step. A little bit different when you're skipping in the TM7. In the TM6, you're just clicking next. This one you can scroll and then set as current step, doing the same when you want to go backwards. So place a non-stick frying pan over a medium heat and add a little bit of oil. Then add 500 grams of pork mince, 1 to 2 teaspoons of sambal oelek, if I'm saying that correctly, which is a chili paste. If you've ever seen me cook before, you would know I am a sook and I do not eat chilies. So we are leaving that one out. Again, it is guided cooking, not set in stone. So whatever is going to work for you. If you love your hot foods, add some of that chili paste in, homemade chili paste, whatever you've got. If not, leave it out like me. And then it wants you to fry, stirring occasionally for 10 minutes. Add 1 tablespoon of the Hoisin sauce mixture and then fry for a couple more minutes until golden. So what we're going to do is, because I want to do this in my TM7, I don't want to do it on my stove. We're going to head back into our main screen. Now the other thing is I couldn't get any pork mince today, so I just got some pork steaks, which I'm going to mince myself. Now, pork mince is generally quite fatty. They use all the random cuts of the pork, so this is a much healthier way to do it as well. Can be a cheaper way as well. These were like a butterfly pork steak, and I've got about 530 grams going in there. And then when we're mincing, just popping our lid on, we're going to head on over to our modes, and we are going to go into our turbo mode. Now, there's a few different ways to mince meat in your Thermomix. You can go like speed 7 for 7 seconds. If you want it really kind of soft mince, you can go for 30 seconds. Or if you want it quite chunky, you can go on a turbo setting. So we're going to give it a crack on our turbo. So we've got 1 second. 1 second is our 1 second fast hard chopping. So turbo goes from 0 to 10 kind of instantly instead of having to go all the way around the dial. Now on our TM7, we can add kind of revs into it. So I've got 1 second, but I want it to go like 3 times because I think I'm going to need at least 3 pulses, maybe more, to get my mince to the consistency that I'm looking for. On a TM6 or a TM5, you've got the turbo mode. You would just have to go 1 second, wait for it to finish, 1 second, wait for it to finish, 1 second, wait for it to finish, whereas this is going to do it itself. So we're just going to hit the play button and let it go. 1, 2, and 3. Now, some recipes will ask you to partially freeze your mince, but your meat before you are freezing it. If you're anything like me, I'm not prepared enough to partially freeze my meat. So I just do it with fresh and it's fine. That is probably not quite small enough. I've still got a couple of big bits in there, but that is looking good. So there's a couple kind of larger ones and then our smaller ones. So give it a bit of a stir. And then we're going to do the same thing a couple more times. If anything, it's just give it a go, check it, go again. I reckon we'll go at least another 2. We might do another 3 double check. Go 1 turbo, 2 turbos, and let's have a look. There's always a little bit of delay with the lid coming off with turbo for a safety function. That is looking much better. So there we have quite a rough mince mixture, which I am really happy with. Those kind of small bits are going to kind of fry up perfectly. And we might just do 1 more, just as a couple down the bottom. Top one's perfect. Give it 1 more second. Just 1. All right. And then we're going to head on into our browning mode. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil. You could add a little bit of sesame oil if you wanted to. Yes. Really happy with that consistency. So mincing meat is as easy as that. Either speed 7 or your turbo mode. A little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of olive oil, whatever you would prefer. And then we're going to go on into our browning mode. Now, if you are using a TM6, you will need to go into Cookidoo and find a browning recipe for a mince. So there'll probably be beef mince. I don't think there's a pork mince recipe, but a beef mince recipe will do the job. With the TM7, you can just get into it manually, no recipe needed. If you're using a TM31 or a TM5, there is no browning mode. We'll talk more about our browning mode in just a minute. So I'm just going to add just a splash of olive oil. Give that a little bit of a stir around. Now, remembering our Thermomix is a stainless steel bowl. It is not Teflon, which means it does need a little bit of olive oil or else it will burn. But you don't need too much at all. So pop that one in, and then in our browning mode on our TM7, we have gentle or we have intense. So gentle is more for veggies, intense is more for meats and things like that. So I'm going to use the intense mode. So I am going to set that for, definitely, it said 10 minutes on the stove. I don't think we need 10. I'm going to go about 6 minutes. Then I'm going to add a little bit of that hoisin sauce and do like another 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how it's going. So I've got 6 minutes on 160 degrees, which is our browning mode, and our intense, and then I'm literally just going to hit play. When you are using a TM6 with the browning mode, or the high heat mode, as we always used to call it, you do need to add a splash guard. So you've got that safety cap splash guard that sits over the lid. With our TM7, the lid is designed differently. It has a built-in splash guard, so you don't need one. The biggest difference with the high heat mode looking at, or the browning mode with your TM31 or TM5, is that it goes 40 degrees hotter than the model Thermomixes. So our TM7 and TM6 go to 160 degrees, TM7 does it in manual mode, TM6 does it in guided cooking. TM5 and TM31 only go up to 120. So that browning mode gives you the ability to do so much more. When I talk to TM31 and TM5 owners, they're like, love my Thermomix. Yeah, I use it for smoothies. I make a risotto occasionally, maybe a soup, you know, a couple of cakes, that kind of stuff. But when you talk with TM6 and TM7 owners, you'll find that they're using their Thermomix to make meals consistently because of things like the high heat mode. You can hear my family just coming home and making a lot of sound, as always. Welcome home, guys. They've just distracted my train of thought as well. I don't know what I was saying now. Thanks, babe. But our high heat mode means that you can do so much more. So as you can see, you can just do browning of simple things. You can do stir fries, which is a big one that we love. You'll find that it adds a lot more flavour to your food because you get that caramelisation that you never used to be able to get. It's funny, I always used to get you guys to listen when we were doing it with the TM6, but the TM7 is so quiet you don't hear it as much. But essentially with the high heat mode, the blades start spinning and then they stop spinning, and that gives the bottom of the Thermomix bowl the ability to really like saute the meat or the veggies, whatever you've got going on in there. Same as what you would at the fry pan. So think about when you're cooking in your fry pan, you're stirring, you're leaving it for a minute or two, you're stirring again. That's exactly what your Thermomix is doing. So blades are spinning, stirring, 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 caramelizing, searing, browning, braising, whatever you want to call it, and then they will continue again before it starts to burn. So it's a really great function, really great for busy people, people that don't want to be stuck at the stove. This is just taking it to that next level. You'll see that bit of kind of like smoke coming out, steam. I never know what to call it. It's different to steam. It's got like a much thicker kind of vapor to it. It's very cool. And the smell that comes out of the high heat mode is amazing as well. I might just make sure I put enough oil in there. Just put that stir. Just going to add a little bit more oil. It's actually not burning at all, but I'm just adding a little bit more because I didn't put a lot in. There we go. All right, and then continue. What I love about the TM7 as well is that when you are under speed 2, you can just pop the lid off without waiting for it to have to stop. Just to be able to stop the timer, the lid to open, and then it to come off, the arms to open, the lid to come off. So it will stop as soon as you pop this. So as soon as you take the lid off, the blades will stop and the heating element will stop. So if you're someone who loves to check how it's going, have a look, make sure everything's looking really good, being able to do that under speed 2 is awesome. When you are over speed 2, it absolutely locks on as a safety function, of course, but it is just when you're on that slower speed, it's really handy. All right, so enough about our browning mode. We are nearly done. Our rice only has another 30 seconds to go. So, oh, that one restarted at 9 minutes. I'm just going to turn that one down. All right. So we'll let that one brown away. And then we're going to grab our varoma, the rice, and do a little bit of plating up while that meat finishes. Which bowl should we use? Taller sides, wider. I never know which one's going to look better in a photo. All right, so plating this one up, we're just going to skip through. There we go. So our TM6 has finished. Got our perfectly steamed broccoli, which you might want to do a light kind of salt and pepper on, just for a little bit of extra flavour. I've got the pepper. Right, so I've got our perfectly cooked rice there. Rice in the Thermomix is just something that will never get old. It is just so perfect every time without fail. So using your spatula, either your TM6 or your TM7, to grab your simmering basket out of your Thermomix safely. There for now. Look at that though, like the most perfect rice in 15 minutes, no hands. Amazing. So we are going to divide our cooked rice and broccoli between 4 serving bowls. Let's plate up in both of these bowls and see which one looks better for our final photo. So going in with some rice. You can always revisit your Cookidoo picture, see what your bowl should look like if you want to be, if you like it, you know, to be visually appealing. Otherwise, just throw it in. It's all going to get eaten anyway. If I didn't have to take photos of my food, I would definitely just be throwing it in. And then my husband likes to stir it all together anyway and make a big hot mess of it, which just breaks my heart. Bit of broccoli, broccolini, whatever you've done. Now with my kids, I like to make this kind of each one a nice like family friendly one. So they will have, my daughter will have the broccoli, my fussy kid will not have any broccoli. So you can kind of make these bowls up to suit you, which is something that I really like about a meal like this. When you've got a fussy family, if you're the same as me, pop it in the comments and let me know. If you've got a fussy kid that's going to do the death of you. I've got one. You can hear me now. He's looking the other way, hiding from me. So we've got our rice and our broccoli. Our next step is, my fingers are a little bit dirty from touching the broccoli, and the TM6 screen won't let me click next. Whereas the TM7 screen you can touch with dirty hands, which is a game changer. Oh my goodness, there we go. I've got some cabbage already cut, but our TM7 is just doing our browning. So we have just done that browning process. We've got some caramelization on the bottom of the bowl. Just trying to scrape it out so you can see. I don't know if it's probably a little bit hard to see. Right on the bottom of the bowl, you've got that golden caramelization, adding that flavor. You've got those beautiful kind of meat juices there. Now, I have heard people with older model Thermomixes say to me, you know, oh, my onions are like a bit steamed rather than browned. So the high heat mode is the game changer for that one. We're just going to add in some of our sauce, add that flavor. Then I'm just going to go for another minute or two. Go 2 minutes just to be safe. 2 minutes. Play on our high heat again. All right, then my other bits and pieces that I've got here. So we've got some matchstick carrots. Here's some I prepared earlier. Julienne's carrots, whatever you want to call them. If you want to get fancy, call it a matchstick. And then just know that I'm plating up, right? I shouldn't be showing you how I'm doing it because I don't do it well. A little bit of cabbage. It did ask for, I think it was Chinese wombok cabbage. I couldn't get any of that, so I'm just using green. But you could definitely use red as well, whatever works. We've got some cucumber, some little squares of cucumber. I think my taller bowl is the winner here tonight. Squares of cucumber. Then we're going to add in our meat, our pork mince, and then I want you to garnish with coriander, mint, and remaining ginger peanut sauce. Now, if you've watched me cook before, you know that I'm not a huge fan of paying for fresh herbs. I do not have a green thumb when it comes to herbs. It's like the only thing that I can't grow. So I tend to refuse to spend $4 or $5 on a bunch just to garnish something. So if you have mint and coriander in your garden, amazing. If you don't need to spend $10 to garnish your meals. That's totally up to you. But that is that last step. And then serve with our hoisin sauce and our peanut ginger crumble. So our meat just has 20 seconds to go. So let's let that finish and then finish plating up. It's pretty rare that I do a live that is kind of start to finish and plate up with you guys. So it's nice to be able to do that tonight. And then the other thing is we have our Earn 4 running. So if you'd like to earn yourself a TM7 with just 4 sales in a whopping 90 days, please let me know. We can absolutely chat about that as well. With 1 sale in that first 30 days, you'll also earn the TM7 cutter and spiralizer, which is amazing. A travel bag, some other bits and pieces. So why not give it a crack? So that is that pork mince, smelling incredible. I'm running out of spoons. So again, we minced our own pork using some, what did I say? I had pork steaks. Cheaper option, much healthier. Couple of seconds and it was done. Right, yum. Like I said, when you've been on holidays for a week, eating holiday food, there's nothing better than coming home to fresh food. So you can drizzle your sauce just over your meat, or you can add it over the veggies as well. Whatever works for you. And then I might just do the one for now. And sprinkle with a little bit of your peanut ginger mixture as well. Don't be shy, this stuff is amazing. And there we have it. We have our hoisin pork bowl with rice, cabbage, broccolini, cucumber, carrots, ready to go. All made in our Thermomix. Nice quick meal when you're making that on the stove. You would be cooking your pork while your rice and veggies are cooking to reduce time, but that one is no more than 40 minutes start to finish. But I would say even quicker than that. So if you haven't added to your weekly planner, there she is, our hoisin pork bowl. And thank you so much everyone for watching. Happy Monday. If you have any questions at all, you know where to find me. And I'll see you all soon. Oh, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Can you tell I've been on holidays? Happy Tuesday. I think I said Monday a few times now. But anyway, happy Tuesday. Bye everyone.